6 million people. That is not a statistic. That is your neighborhood, your school, your city gone. And the most disturbing part is not what the killers did. It is that most of them were ordinary people, teachers, farmers, fathers. They did not wake up evil, they woke up obedient. And that is the most terrifying sentence you will hear today. Because obedience, not hatred, is what makes mass atrocities possible. So the real question is not how could they do that. The real question is, could you? In 1961, a psychologist named Stanley Milgram ran an experiment that shook the entire scientific world. Ordinary American volunteers were told to administer electric shocks to a stranger every time they answered a question wrong. The shocks increased with every wrong answer, all the way to 450 volts, labeled simply "Danger, Severe Shock." The strangers screamed, they begged, they went silent, and 65% of participants kept pressing the button, not because they wanted to hurt anyone, but because a man in a white coat said 4 words. Please continue, it's required. No gun, no threat, just authority. Just a white coat. Just 4 words. That experiment did not just reveal something about 1961. It revealed something about all of us. Something we have been carrying since the moment we were born into a world that told us to listen, obey, and not ask too many questions. Here is what nobody taught you in school. Your brain has a built-in obedience mechanism. It is not a flaw. It was a survival tool. For thousands of years, following the leader of the tribe means staying alive. Questioning the chief means exile. And exile means death. So your brain learned obey first, question later. Psychologists call this the agentic state. The moment your brain shifts from acting as an individual to acting as an instrument of someone else's will, you stop thinking, is this right? You start thinking, I am just following orders. And the terrifying part is, these shifts happen without you noticing. It happens in offices, in armies, in governments, in living rooms watching television. The trigger is always the same. A figure who looks like they have the answers. A voice that sounds certain in an uncertain world. Now here is where it gets personal. Because dangerous leaders do not rise by accident. They are built by systems and they always follow the same formula. Step 1. Find a population under stress, economic pain, social fear, uncertainty. Step 2. Give them an enemy. It does not matter if the enemy is real. It just has to feel real. Step 3. Positions themselves as the only solution. Only I can fix it. Step 4. Reward loyalty and punish questions. And Step 5. Make obedience feel like identity. Make following them feel like patriotism, like strength, like belonging. Once that happens, the follower no longer follows out of fear. They follow out of love. And that is the most dangerous human being on earth. Not the leader with the gun, but the followers who genuinely believes. History has proven this formula works in every culture, every era, every continent. It worked in Germany, it worked in Cambodia. It is working somewhere right now today as you watch this. But here is what the history books bury. Not everyone obeyed. In Milgram's experiment, 35% refused. They stood up, they walked out, they said no to the white coat. In Nazi Germany, there were soldiers who had Jewish families at the cost of their own lives. In every authoritarian regime in history, there were people who chose conscience over compliance. What made them different? Research shows it was not intelligence, it was not physical courage, it was one thing: prior exposure to the idea that authority can be wrong. People who had been taught everyone once that it is not only acceptable but sometimes necessary to question power were significantly more likely to resist. That is not a political statement, that is neuroscience, that is history. And that is exactly why critical thinking is disappearing from education systems around the world. Because an educated population that questions authority is the most dangerous thing a dangerous leader can face. So we come back to the question we started with. Could you follow a dangerous leader? The uncomfortable answer is under the right conditions, most people already have. Not because they are weak, not because they are stupid, but because the system was designed to make obedience feel normal, feel safe, and feel righteous. The most important thing you can do, not just as a citizen but as a human being, is learn to recognize the formula. When a leader needs an enemy to stay powerful, that is a warning sign. When questioning them is called betrayal, that is a warning sign. When their followers stop thinking and start performing, that is a warning sign. The antidote to obedience is not rebellion, it is awareness. It is the habit of asking one simple question before you follow anyone anywhere. Who benefits from my obedience? History does not remember the leaders who demanded it. History remembers the people who refused it. Think deeper, see wider, understand the world as one. Thank you.